Okay, fam, welcome back. So today we're going to be going over the Grayscale max profit targets with the Fibonacci retracement tool. So with that being said, let's get it. Okay, so before I get into that, there is something I wanted to address. So there's been a couple comments lately that have said, like, people basically blaming us for them being in a drawdown in their positions. Look, there's a few things I'm going to say about that. Okay, number one, nobody's responsible for what you do with your money. Okay. If you choose not to take a look at charts for yourself and follow the the price action of these stocks, and you just buy at just random prices thinking it's going to go up, then you're going to get whatever results you get, whether it's profitable or not. We didn't tell you to buy at a certain price. We literally told you guys before, like, hey, it looks overbought, looks oversold, kind of indicating that maybe it might be a good time to get out or get in, but nobody ever forced your hand in anything. What you choose to do with your money is your own choice. Again, we don't give financial advice here. We're just taking a look at the charts and telling you guys what we see. But for somebody to come in here and act like a child and be like, oh, well, I lost money or this or that because of whatever. I mean, guys, it's your money. You can do what you want to with it. If you don't want to be in crypto, don't be in crypto. Nobody's going to force you. Okay. But don't come here and blame us or go blame other people for your decisions. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you bought at the top here, that was your choice. We're not buying at the top. We're buying at the bottom. We even literally told you guys, and you can go back in time and look at the videos around these time frames that we were telling you guys, that these things are overbought. I mean, look at the RSI. It was up at an 80, 90. You got that green shade. It's pretty clear that it potentially was going to hit some kind of major swing top. Okay. Do I think it's going to be the all-time high? No, because of the cycle timing. But we got out for a profit out of LTCN and BCHG back when they were overbought. We have not repositioned yet. Whether we will or not remains to be seen. But nobody made you buy at the top. If you bought at the top, that was your choice. Nobody is making you sell at the bottom and buy at the top. Look, the thing that you want to do here. Well, I'm not telling you what to do, but you guys can do what you want to. But if I was trading these at just as a position trader, I would only ever be looking to buy at major support, or when the RSI is oversold, or when the MACD gets a golden cross, or sell when the MACD gets a death cross, the RSI is overbought, and we are potentially looking like we're going to top out. Okay. Some people scale out and scale in. That's one way to do it. Again, if you put all your money in here up into any of these positions at the top of the move, if you put 100% of your money up here at the top of the move, well, a lot of people do that during crypto bull runs. It sucks, but if you've done it, you're probably not the only one. Plenty of people have done it. Okay. Most people that come into crypto, they have zero knowledge about economics and TA and all that stuff. They don't know anything about anything. They just come in here, throw their money into something, thinking it's going to go to $1 zillion, and then they get mad when it doesn't happen in the time frame that they want. Trust me when I tell you, we are in drawdowns too. We're in drawdowns on the Bitcoin miners, drawdowns on native crypto, drawdowns on the Grayscale trusts. We're experiencing the same thing you're experiencing. The difference is we are not coming in here and blaming anybody for what's going on in the markets, and the fact that we are not gods of trading and we are not 100% profitable 100% of the time, because nobody's 100% profitable 100% of the time. That's not possible. Okay. But we were telling you guys back here that we thought this was overbought. So, if you bought a crap ton up here when it looked like it was going to top out, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, we bought some back here, kind of like in this range, and even a little bit back here. And, as these things got kind of toppy, we just took profit off the table. I mean, there's really only one or two outcomes here. Are you okay? When crypto goes up and you're in the money, you can either take profit or not. If you don't take profit, you run the risk of your positions going down minus 80, 90%. I don't know what to tell you about that. The only way that you can mitigate it, if you buy when it's too expensive, is just to DCA down. A lot of people that got into AMC and GME did that. So, but to blame somebody is wrong. And another thing that I want to point out too, I like Ethan a lot. I have a lot of respect for him, but Ethan is not paying us to post this content for y'all. We're doing it by choice. Okay. Free of charge. We're not making any money here off of this. Well, I mean, there's YouTube ad revenue, but even that's not that much. But in terms of us getting paid by somebody to promote this, that's not happening. Okay. And if we were getting a sponsor, we would have to tell you anyways. So we're not, obviously. All right. So enough about that. I want to go ahead and get into the content here. I think it's pretty ridiculous that people come on here and make claims like that. I'm like, dude, if you don't want the risk of crypto, there can be no reward without risk, and there can be no risk without reward. If you want to make money, you're going to have to deal with the bad stuff too. You're going to have to deal with the drawdowns and the bear markets and all that. Otherwise, what is the point of being in the market? There's always going to be some kind of risk when there comes to reward, and that's true for anything in life. But I think it's really childish and ridiculous for somebody to do something like that. Okay, so macro levels here, we're looking at roughly about, we'll say 82, 130, 177, and 206 on LTCN. You can kind of figure your numbers out there in terms of what potential profits might be. So going over the big scale ones, and yes, I do think this is possible. So 830, 1,315, 1825, 2140. Again, it's always a good idea, and this is not financial advice. You guys can do what you want to, but when nobody's talking about a project, nobody at all is talking about it. Okay, and it's sitting at all-time lows, and it's doing nothing. We've literally gone over how to trade like the whales in previous videos. When you see something like this at all-time lows, when it's just mostly bottomed out and going sideways, in my opinion, that is the best time to get in. Okay, and when the RSI gets overbought and we get that MACD death cross, or we look like we're gonna get one because the histogram starts changing color, that is the best time to get out, in my opinion. But of course, it's your life, your money, you can do what you want. So I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to tell you guys what I see on the charts. All right, so BCHG. So you got about 35, 57, 74, and roughly about 88 respectively. I think 88 is probably pretty conservative, actually. I know Bitcoin Cash doesn't usually do huge returns like some of the meme coins, but I do think it's definitely possible to hit that top level. Okay, so you got 95, 160, 220, and then 258, 260, somewhere there. I mean, that's a massive return. That's like a 50x. All right, HSEN. And again, we've been talking about October being bullish. October usually is bullish. The entire Q4 of the halving year is bullish for crypto, but it's also bullish for stocks, generally speaking, because you have that bullish seasonality and people want to go out and spend for the holidays and whatnot. I'm not expecting that to change, but again, it doesn't mean that Bitcoin and all these cryptocurrencies have to go to all-time highs in October. Okay, usually Bitcoin doesn't actually go to all-time highs until November, and the Bitcoin miners and anything Bitcoin related usually doesn't go to all-time highs until at least November. Again, in my opinion, October is just a markup phase. Okay, it could go much higher by the end of the month. That's always possible, but it wouldn't surprise me if it took it till November. I'm just going to throw that out there. So people that are like, oh, well, why isn't the price going up? It's October. Guys, we're only 9 days into October. It literally just started. Look, I can't tell you what to do, but I've been in these markets long enough to understand the value of patience. Sometimes you just gotta soldier it out. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, not everything is going to happen the way we want it to. Trust me. This is kind of testing my patience too, having to wait this long, but it is what it is. We just got to wait. We got to wait and see how things play out. I think it's going to be really bullish, and I think people are going to be all shocked and all happy and giddy and stuff when it does. But of course, there's no guarantees. But again, we're basing our thesis on what's going to happen based on everything we're seeing in the markets, not based on our feelings. Okay. So 1560, 24, 3170, and 37 for HN. This one, unfortunately, does not have a lot of history. So, we just got to go off based on what we have. During the next bear market, winter, sometime in 2026 is when I presume it's going to happen. We'll have more history on all of these trusts so we can better kind of navigate what the full data will tell us. Okay, so we got 50, 77, 109, and 127. Okay, so ETCG, we're looking at roughly about 26, 40, 52, and 58. And again, I want you guys to understand, look, I'm not trying to attack anybody when I say, I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad either when I say that, it's not right to come in here and blame people for your personal decisions. But I mean, trading and investing is a matter of trial and error. Trust me, I've been doing this a long time, had a lot of failures, had a lot of success, just simply part of the game. Okay. So 150, 250, 335, and then 400 on ETCG. All right, let's see here. ETH local levels we're looking at here is roughly about 45, 62, 80, and 91 respectively. We have 110, 180, 245, and 285. You'll have to excuse me, maintenance is drilling on something on the ceiling, or I don't know what's going on there. So that's what's going on in the background, y'all. Okay, so we got GBAT here. We're looking at roughly about 32, 49, 67, and 77. And again, is this possible? Absolutely. I mean, Dogecoin did a 750x in the last cycle. Decentraland did a 200x. I would say anything in between this top fib level, or well, basically anywhere between the previous all-time high, the top fib level, and anything beyond that is possible. Okay, so 50, 85, 111, 131. Okay, so file G, whatever you want to call it, 175, 270, and then 365 and 420 respectively. And for the big numbers here, we got roughly about 660, 1020, 1410, and 1620. Something else I did want to point out too, when we first made this channel, we didn't even know who Ethan was. Okay, so it's impossible for him to actually. That whole idea is impossible, anyways, because we didn't even know who he was back when we first made the channel. This channel was initially created for dividend investing. It wasn't necessarily for crypto, although we did tell you at some point in time we would start talking about that. So 73, 110, 148, and 169. And for the big one here, we're looking at 123, 190, 256, and roughly about $300. And again, as time went forward, we did tell you that once we got closer to where we thought the bull run was going to start, we would start talking more and more about crypto. I didn't think it was going to be about these Grayscale trusts, but it is what it is. It's crypto. It doesn't matter. That's what we said we were going to do. So 220, 340, 450, and 520. And of course, as the crypto bull run comes to a head, we'll start slowly scaling back in the amount of content we do on this, and we'll still cover it. We'll just focus a little bit more on dividend investing. So 343, 540, 715, and I'd say roughly about 820 on that one. Okay, GSOL, this one is already at all-time highs, so we're going to measure this a little bit differently. This is basically swing high to swing low, but the swing high is the all-time high. So 780, 1,100, roughly about 1,400, and 1610. GXLM. We're looking at roughly about 105, 160, 215, and 250 respectively. And then for the big macro move here. And in terms of the private placements, look, I'm pretty sure y'all that people wouldn't have bought into these things unless they thought they were going to go up. I mean, you really only got two options here. You can either be a bear or you can be a bull. Okay. If people are buying into these funds, meaning they're not selling them because you have to sell in order to short to be a bear, if they're buying into the funds, that means that they think the price is going to go up. Okay. Because that's what bulls do. They buy into the markets by hitting the buy button with the intention that the price of the shares is going to go up. I really highly doubt they would have agreed to be placed in these funds if they thought the price wasn't going to go up at some point. So that's just my 2 cents. So 150, to roughly about 250, 340, and 395. Again, that goes back to market psychology. If you guys don't know anything about that, there's plenty of books out there you can read to learn about these things, or probably even videos on YouTube that you can watch, or whatever, wherever you choose to view your content at. So 53, 80, 108, and then 125 respectively. And the big ones for Meta, 105, 172, 235, and roughly about 275 respectively. Okay, last one here is Zcash. And again, I am aware that there are some newer Grayscale trusts. We'll take a look at those in the future. I have not gotten around to them yet, but I haven't forgotten either. So 14, 20, 27, and 30. I think 30 is a drop in the bucket for something like Zcash. I mean, this one usually doesn't move a whole lot during a bull run, but it does still do like a 10 to 15x from the lows from what I've seen. So yeah, $30 probably wouldn't even be all that much, to be honest. Okay, so last one here is 66, 106, 145, and 166 respectively. All right, so that's it, folks. Hope you all enjoyed this content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.